You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What is up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to another episode of the Hello Sport Podcast. Home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Now, quickly, before we get into anything else, because there's more important things to get to, but I want to get this out of the way. Shout out to every motherfucker who got on the Big Day Rosé.
Oh, yeah.
Sold out in 26 minutes. There will be more coming.
Not that long.
Month.
No. Well,
Yes,
yeah, next month.
next
But
month.
I'd say it more like
Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. Because that sounds way better.
Well, it does.
Because next month's like, well, how long's that?
Yeah, exactly. That
could be ages.
Well, that could be the months away.
Well, it could be like, you know, if it was the start of the month and I said next month, it could be like up to 8 weeks.
It's misleading.
Very. As opposed to me telling the punter and the dribbler, how does a couple of weeks sound?
Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks.
26 minutes, all sold out. Couple of weeks, coming back. Thank you very much. Also, Eddie, for those of you living under a rock, metaphorical or otherwise, we are in camp at the moment for the World Podcast Championships, and there may be some T-shirts going on sale, and by may I mean 100% there are. This Thursday, 6 p.m, bloke.com, bloke.shop. We'll
also have a link on our website. Go onto the Bloke website just in case you get a little confused.
This is the DMP drop for 2023. Make smart decisions.
Make smart decisions. Tom and I will be off to represent the nation at the World Podcast Championships this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wish us luck.
Listen, what we do promise is that we will have a much better crack than the Wallabies. Now, that's not an attack. I feel bad for the young players.
Listen, it's not an attack, but you know we're born winners.
My God.
You know we're born winners. Did I win the Jeff Athletic competition?
Yes,
sure.
you did.
Am I going to win?
Buddy.
Am I going to win this? Yeah, I am.
Yeah, we are.
I don't lose, punters and dribblers. Know that. So know that you're going to have pure, honest, true representation this Wednesday at the World Podcast Championships. Unlike the Wallabies. Not a dig.
Not a dig, just
it can't be a dig if it's true.
No.
How can one dig if it's true?
It's grand final week, and we are hot and horny for rugby league football and grand finals, but you can't walk past a fiery fucking inferno bin fire crash on the side of the highway, which is rugby union at the moment, which is the Wallabies 2023 World Cup campaign, which is Eddie Jones, which is a record loss to Wales, which is out in the pool stages for the first time in the history of the competition, Eddie. You can't walk past that.
If you're on your way out to a course stadium in the car, unfortunate for you, in the car this Sunday, predicted to be 34. No, this isn't a drill. Predicted to be 34. Yeah. If you were to drive out there and on the side of the road, a crash of epic proportions had unfolded, you do not just drive past it.
You stop.
You stop.
And at the very least, look.
And you put your Good Samaritan hat on and you do your best.
Or you slow down and watch.
Exactly. Or you slow down and watch. In this case, Tom and I will not be hopping out of the car to help.
No, we're slowing down and watching.
We'll be slowing down to watch and observing what we see.
Making a couple of comments.
What I see, unfortunately, is a wallaby that's been hit by a road train and it's now on fire. I don't know why it's on fire, but it is.
No. It was hit so hard that it went poof. And I think also when it skid across the road, it like friction.
Well, that's exactly right, Tom. It's straight up and down friction.
Yeah.
Friction was so hot and heavy.
The wallaby caught on fire.
Caught on fire.
Yeah.
Now she burning.
Oh, she burning. We got a smouldering wallaby on the side of the road. We're driving past. We're looking at it. We're going, geez, that wallaby doesn't look too good. It's got a beret on.
Had
the beret's smouldering.
Well, actually, the beret's still on the head. Head's been removed from the body.
Yeah, exactly. Just rolled down the
rolled
straight a little bit further. It's not on fire, but you know what we will do? We'll drive past with maybe an old newspaper. We'll ignite the newspaper, and then as we continue on, we'll set the head on fire just so we can burn it all.
Now, obviously, Tom and I, we're historically big Wallabies guys.
I've been a huge Wallabies rugby union fan since I was a child.
But the self-confessed rugby union dribbler John Ogilvie.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Ogilvie.
Yeah.
This is where Johnny's at. This will go down as one of the worst decisions in Australian sport. He's discarded veterans and leaders, picked players who either had no right being there or clearly weren't 100%, and flogged them into the ground at a time when they needed to be managed. He has abused journos for doing their job, gone through assistant coaches like dribblers go through Big Day Rose. That is true.
That is true.
And repeatedly made outlandish comments that seem all the more delusional whenever you read them back. He can say whatever he wants. The reality is his coaching record of Australia is now 2-15 if you include 2005. So he's taken 2005, the last year in charge, 2003. I think that's a little misleading.
That's Johnny. No. You're going back to when Johnny's the Tigers were good.
Johnny's pissed off.
Yeah, Johnny's pissed off.
Johnny's annoyed.
Yeah. That's the most rugby union thing else. He wants an inquiry into them. He's like, grassroots rugby ain't that bad. Like he's saying, obviously everyone's always like, you got to invest more in grassroots. He's like, yeah, you do. And again, this is Campo saying it, so grain of salt stuff.
Yep.
But he's like,
or a rock.
Or what? Exactly, a big rock of, a fucking 8 ball of salt. He has said like grassroots isn't great, but it's not like it's bad. It's like there's mismanagement the whole way through.
Yep.
And there needs to be a Jeff Tuvey level investigation, maybe even a Royal Commish.
Oh, an RC?
Yeah.
That's a good way to spend fucking government funds,
yes.
I reckon.
Exactly.
Let's just tax the rich, as David say, and let's get an RC going.
Let's get a Royal Commission into the state of rugby union in Australia.
I tell you what, Tom, fair income, like truth on the table sort of stuff, I'm not ruling out an RC.
No.
What else would you do?
Yeah.
How else would you get to the truth?
I don't know. Honestly, you'd have to. I tell you, you could trick them all. You could say, you send out a really nice invite, right? Like wax sort of seal sort of stuff, right?
Yep.
Nice lettering and embossed, whatever the hell that shit is.
Yeah.
Right? You do that. You send it out to all the bigwigs. Mr. Wong's, 1:30 till late.
Yep.
Right? Clear the schedule.
Yeah.
So you send them that. You get them all down to Mr. Wong's. What we've done is we've gone and spoken to Justin Hemmies.
Bug the room.
Of Maryvale.
Instead of that, we want you to come up with what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I also don't mind bugging the room, getting the boys a little liquored up, getting them a little Charlesed up potentially.
Look, I actually, to be honest, hearing that might be better than just threatening to kill them all.
Well, because they're just going to go internal and they're going to lawyer up.
True.
You know what I mean? We don't live in North Korea as much as Dave wishes we did. We don't live there. No. And so you're just going to lawyer up. There's a legal process and they're going to go quiet and they're not going to say a fucking word.
Red
tape. Nothing to see here, not speaking. See you in court, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas my idea, Tom, a little more like thief in the night.
Yeah.
Get the boys talking.
Yeah, get them chit-chatting.
Get them chit-chatting.
Couple of rippers in there.
Yeah, why not? Get the boys loose.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen. The
couple
reality
of Twin Peaks finest down there,
the
mate.
reality is that they would have booked them in before we even had a chance to. As soon as they heard that this thing was on, it's like they would have already. They've got them on speed dial, right? So okay, I like that. So we bug the room. We get them in there. We get them to spill the beans. Get them to squeal.
Yeah,
unintentionally.
Yeah. Get a private room there. Little bit of no cameras in here. Wink, wink. Sort of situation.
Yeah.
Liquor the boys up. Do whatever you want. Wink, wink. Few rippers from Twin Peaks in there. Thanks for coming.
Few. Everyone on their books.
Yeah. I need to clear the decks.
Yeah.
Now, I think then you start to get answers, Tom, about what the hell's gone wrong.
Yeah.
There's been investigations before. The Australian, I believe, did a podcast about where all the money went after 2003.
I think they had a clip from our chat with Angus Crichton in there actually.
Well, they did, Tom.
So, But listen, unless it's Headley Thomas doing it, you're probably not going to fucking get to the bottom of it. And even Headley didn't get to the bottom of it, but at least he got them put in jail. So we do probably need someone like real high-powered Headley Thomas serial sort of shit. Like
but Headley I want teachers pet Headley Thomas who got results.
Yes.
Not Bathurst murder Headley Thomas where he got nothing.
No, he got no results.
Zero results.
No, it's got to be.
In fact, you finished the end of the podcast series and you go, I'm further away now than I ever was. So I don't want that Headley.
No, we need teachers pet Headley.
Good Headley.
Yeah.
Results Headley.
Nice, good Headley, which is what they're probably wanting at the lunch.
Great Headley.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's something to look into. Sonny Bill Williams fucking eviscerated Eddie Jones on Stan.
What did he say?
Can we get that up, Dave?
I'll need to see that.
It's a saved video on HSP's Instagram.
I'll need to see that immediately.
He has a red hot crack. Basically, and Sonny, I will allow him to speak in a moment as Dave gets it up, but basically just speaking to like how all the like just selections basically. Like, and no disrespect to the guy who was captaining the Wallabies today, but like, and I'm not saying like this is not about him, but I've never heard of him in my life except for last game because I think he's captained 2 games. David Porecki or something.
David Porecki?
Porecki, like,
and did he captain the last game?
Yeah, I think he might have. But like that was it, right? And you had Will Skelton, but then he was injured. Fucking that Tate McDermott, Andrew Tate McDermott, he was there and he got injured. It's just it's been an absolute just train wreck shit show. It's been disgraceful.
It's been absolutely appalling. We lose to Fiji.
Oi, stop talking about rugby, mate. You don't know what you're talking about, mate. Oi.
I'll tell you what I do know, bruh. I'll tell you what I do know. I'll tell you what I fucking know. I know that almost every single one of my mates used to at some point watch rugby union, and now none of them do, except I could count on 3 hands.
Yeah.
Every single one of my mates used to support the Brumbies or the Waratahs, and now none of them do.
Used to know every fucking player in every team. I used to be able to name
So don't fucking, you hate rugby. No. Stop the bullshit, mate. No one fucking gives a shit anymore, and I tell you why. Because
it's not our fault.
Because the domestic competition is an absolute shit show. South Africa will like get us the fuck out of here. New Zealand will do the same. It'll go back to a domestic comp in Australia only that is marginally better than the Shoot Shield.
But that less people will watch.
Like, and you at the same time maintain this completely out of touch policy of like, we're only picking players that have played in the domestic comp unless you play for the Wallabies X amount of games. Are you taking crazy pills, bruh?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we did the same thing in soccer?
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what? Or you play for Man City, do you? Sorry, bruh, you're not getting picked.
Yeah.
What are you on about, mate? What are you fucking talking about? Do you want rugby league to just walk in and buy up every single last piece of talent? Is that what you want?
Well, that's what they've done.
Because you're basically disincentivizing people from going over to that rich European money with also a nice carrot of playing for the Wallabies. Nah, sorry, bro. You got to play for the Waratahs against the Force in front of 100 people every weekend. What do we?
Subiaco Oval.
What, like, it's
also
just
though,
mad. And then you're defending the domestic comp. The domestic comp's been in the decline for 20 years.
Yeah, because
what are we talking about?
But also because that, like, I don't understand, like, the way they talk about, like, oh, you're going to poach rugby league players. It's like, listen, you're poaching whoever the fucking best players are. You should absolutely be doing that, not just every 4 years when there's a World Cup coming around. You should have, like, a targeted approach going, we want to get the best players possible playing rugby union.
Yep.
That's what it is. And if you've got these guys that are weapons when they're younger, find money for them.
Yep. Seriously. And if you don't have it, come up with some sort of like brother, you know those sister cities?
Yeah.
Like Dubbo is like a sister city in China. I don't know what it gets me, Tom.
Dubbo's sister city in China.
There's like a sister city in China, but like...
Is there actually?
Yeah, it's something like, can you look that up? It's in Asia somewhere, I think.
Dubbo has a sister city in China?
Yeah.
Or Japan?
So Dubbo has sister cities with 2 international cities, Minokamo in Japan, and Wujiang in China, as well as Newcastle in New South Wales.
There you go.
So you're saying like...
I love that the rest of us going to Newcastle because it's a sister city. Now, what I'm saying is there needs to be that... If rugby...
Billeting system.
Well, there needs to be exactly what there needs to be. If rugby union go, you know what... I've heard Kalen Pong is like one of the most prodigious talents of all time, and we can't afford him. If you actually can't afford him, you need to be on the blowout to some big, fat, sweaty, rich billionaire pig in France going, do you want him?
Yeah.
Because I want you to pick him and he can play over there in Europe, but we're going to pick him for the Wallabies. If you can't afford him, that's what you need to do. You need to start billeting them out.
And we'll kick in some money. We'll kick in the $35 we can afford.
Well, we kick in Wallabies cash.
Yeah.
But you pay for him otherwise. He's a throbber. Otherwise, what happens? We lose him to league and we never get him back. Except maybe every 4 years, maybe.
Like Suoliti just going, Jesus Christ.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like if you genuinely can't afford him, don't roll over.
Find ways.
And arch your back and go,
Take me,
please, Daddy NRL. That's not good enough. You should be trying to keep them in the code if you're fair income about it.
Yeah.
Because then, 4 years down the track, when they've developed nicely and they're paying that European footy, you bring them back for the Wallabies. Okay. Now we've got a decent Wallaby set up because we're getting boys into some work in Europe. As opposed to playing a domestic comp here where we get humped every weekend, thin as fuck. And now we roll out Wallaby sides where no one knows.
Dave. Someone's at the door.
And now we roll out Wallaby sides where we don't even know the captain.
Seriously, the captain. And again, back in the rugby chat group, all these guys, like the amount who are like, oh, I don't know the team, the Wallabies team. I can't name the Wallabies team, and I genuinely can't. Eddie, I want to talk to you about a little friend of mine by the name of Neds, and it's not you, obviously. It's the betting platform.
Well, I'm Ned, not Neds.
No, it's true. I had so look. There's two there's two sort of elements to my punting, right? There's my about even punting, and there's my civilian punting. My about even punting was not great on the weekend. My civilian punting was pretty good.
Who'd you get up?
I had a great weekend on the ponies, dude. It's pony season. My nose is blocked. My eyes are itchy. You know what that means?
Pony season.
It's fucking pony season, dude.
Pony season.
And I was
Can you hear
around.
him? Giddy up, baby.
Do you know how you would have fucking known, Eddie?
Did they peel and work?
If you were in the bloody Neds group on the weekend, you would have got my box try and you would have got my bloody osmosis. Now, Tobler didn't actually give me osmosis. I went back and saw that he had it in his tips, but a dribbler shot me that saying osmosis. Next.
Paying?
$2.50?
Nice and short.
No, it was more than that.
Maybe $3.
I thought it was more than that.
Nah.
To be honest.
It was a pretty short price favourite, but
I'll go and find
got
it.
up regardless.
But listen.
Nothing like just really ramming home a short price favourite at the punter and the dribbler because they get uppity about it, which I like. Oh, mate, it's not paying $30, so it doesn't count.
Nah, you may
winners win, bro.
Winners win.
Winners win. Now, if you want to get some winning done of your own, or at least have a crack at it, Ned's is the place to do it. Best in the business, the best in the business.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
What is it?
What do we got?
Holy shit. Could this...
Top loading.
This might be...
Oh, dude.
This might be one of the most...
It's from R.M. Williams.
This might be one of the greatest deliveries in terms of, like, timings. Oh.
It's fragile, buddy.
Yeah, I'm treating it as such. Okay. Oh my god, dude.
Literally from R.M. Williams. You didn't get new boots, did you?
I haven't got new boots yet. Looking at it.
You looking at it? What do we got here?
Imagine if it was Anthrax from R.M. Williams. Okay, we got a card here.
What do we got?
Hold on. Or is this just a...
That's just a receipt.
Is it?
Yeah, that's an invoice.
Just check.
Not an invoice, a receipt. It's a shipping receipt.
All right, well, that is the most R.M. Williams way to put in a receipt, unless there's something else in there. Like, okay, take that, Eddie. You see if there's any more, like, anything in
Nothing
there.
in there,
that's
mate.
literally just for a receipt. That's insane.
It was carefully packed by Amy. Thank you, Amy. It's a nice touch.
Okay. Wow. Looks a bit big for boots, mate.
Oh my god. Wow. Huge.
Artisanal R.M. Williams football. Handcrafted. Now,
This feels like the right time.
this feels like the right time for this thing to arrive. Listen, 39 of 50 we've got.
Is it artisanal?
It's numbered. Oh, no, it is artisanal, dude. Look at that. Now, I mean, this isn't the Wallabies doing that. Like, it's not their fault that they're doing artisanal handcrafted footballs.
Also, I think a little unfair to lump poor old R.M. Williams, a proud Australian brand, in with the Wallabies at the moment.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But, like, are they getting any money from this thing, or is this just an RM Williams initiative? Like, again, the berets, dude. Like, I know everyone loved the berets, and maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it's like that's a real
good quality
thing. It's a good quality ball, dude.
This is artisanal.
How's it smell? It's 100% cowhide.
Smells amazing.
Does it smell 100%
yeah, it smells
cowhide?
fucking good. Oh, you're missing out, bro.
Listen, even if I could smell my fucking
good.
hay fevers.
That's fucking good.
I like they've pumped it up.
Oh, it's pumped. It's pumped to within an inch of its life, mate. It's artisanal. Give me a spiral.
Well, I got my left to right there.
Oh. Now, you got to ask yourself this, Tom.
How did a game
that produces this,
lose its way?
How does a code selling $1,000 artisanal RM Williams footballs lose its way?
It's just sometimes it's hard.
It's maddening to me.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how.
It's almost as if, Tom, it's almost as if they're not in touch with the punter.
Or the dribbler. Or the common man or woman.
Well, they're more in touch with the punter than the dribbler. I'll tell you that.
They're more in touch with the punter, but I'll tell you what, there's more punters that are dribblers that are like everyday fucking humans and bloody, your big top end of town.
They're not in touch with any dribblers.
No.
Except for maybe John Ingate, king of the dribblers.
Maybe.
But that's about it. Smells good. I'll fucking give you that. That's unbelievable.
All right, well, that was worth every penny.
We will be putting that under
That'll
glass.
be getting mounted behind glass. Shout out to them for perfect timing. Getting that in. That I mean, like, that just couldn't have happened any better. I feel bad for him. I tell you what, Eddie Jones. Well, we got Sonny Bill.
Yep.
Because then Eddie Jones is just like, I'm fucked as well. Like, there's a part of me that feels sorry for Eddie Jones.
Why?
I can't see it on the TV, Dave.
We'll get to him. Let's watch Sonny Bill. One thing at a time.
Is it up there?
Yep.
Questions need to be asked, from selections to the mind games that Eddie's been playing with these kids, these guys, these young men. It was evident. There's a guy in the studios back home that should be here right now, So proof's in the pudding. 40-6 was really embarrassing, and I feel for these kids. They're gonna carry this on for the rest of their careers and feel this until they get to come back here again, rectify it. But if I'm a player, and I'm going to carry on here, if I'm a player from a player's point of view, I'm not following a guy that's sitting, having a meeting with another national team, potentially looking for another job days before you're hopping on the plane to come to this World Cup. So, and that's just my opinion. I might be different. I might be going a bit too far here, but that's my honest opinion.
Yeah, dude. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
No, he denied it in his press conference. He's like,
but did he supply it?
Well, that's always the real.
Well, he who denied it supplied it, Tom. You learned that when you were fucking 6, mate.
Apparently, he was having fucking Zoom meetings with Japan before he came to the World Cup to take over their side, which is fucking pretty hectic.
If true. In the sense that, like, what the fuck, dude? That's real trader vibes. He G's up about trader. But, like, why are you already looking to get out of here, bruh? You just come back literally for the World Cup. Mate, I'm pretty sure Bernard Foley put out a tweet, which was like a photo of him next to David Rennie. He was like, didn't have to be like this. Bernard Foley not there. Quade Cooper not there. I don't know if James O'Connell was good anymore because I don't watch it. Now, Michael Hooper. Bro, like people go he was injured, but
they took Max Jorgensen over who was injured.
But I think he was injured potentially for the rugby championship, but I think he was okay.
I think he could have been playing.
At the very least, punters and dribblers, at the very least, if you're going to take over such a young squad, you need to pad it with some experienced guys who know what the fuck's up.
Yeah.
Even just to have a yarn to impart wisdom from. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the disrespect to the elders there, mate, it's unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Absurd in the extreme. Absolutely absurd. Like Quade Cooper not being there seems ridiculous.
And I mean, that's probably part of the reason why Sonny was pissed off in terms of the fact that he's friends with Quade, so at least he has some insight into what some of these players are be talking
now,
about.
if it is true...
Drew Mitchell going off on...
and everyone goes, that's...
rugby pod.
People go, it's so disrespectful to Fiji. Listen.
You missed the point. You didn't watch the whole thing if you think it was disrespectful to Fiji. He was like, full credit to Fiji, they played well, but... Like, Fiji getting upset, it's like, relax, Fiji. We think you are good. You're a good fucking side. You're going to top the pool. Chill out. We can still be like, it's shocking we've never lost to you, so we're kind of fucking pissed off about it. And Drew was speaking about Eddie Jones mostly.
Exactly. And it's also like, we haven't lost to Fiji for 69 years, right? So, obviously, what does that imply, do you reckon? What do you reckon that implies? Maybe there's been a slipping in Australian standards?
Yep.
Right? And that's what he's calling out. It's got nothing to do with Fiji. Again, people just too fucking sensitive for their own good. Go and have a bath, mate. Go and sip on a chai latte and chill out.
Chill the fuck out.
Now, if Eddie Jones is, in fact, taking meetings with Japan, he is the traitor that we always thought he was.
Or at least that he was accused of being.
Now, if he's not, that is obviously removed. But I read the other day... And by the other day, I mean maybe this morning, might have been yesterday, can't remember, that he's on $1 million a year for 4 years, Eddie Jones.
That's how long he signed for. And he's taking meetings with Japan.
$1 million a year for 4 years.
Definitely a 4-year deal, yeah.
I've got to ask the question, and what I'm asking is Dave to do his job, and Dior, was Dave Rennie that bad?
No. He had a better record than fucking Eddie Jones. But also... $1 million? We're talking about, like, not being able to afford players and shit. Like, why don't you get, like... Listen, I don't know if you need to be paying $1 million for a coach in rugby union at the moment.
$1 million, mate. $1 million. Would Wayne Bennett be... Wayne Bennett only be on $1 million, wouldn't he?
Probably. I mean, I guess they'd be saying you're an...
Oh, no, but he's at the Dolphins. But, like, what would Robbo be on?
International coaches...
You coach less games.
Yeah, but international coaches would command, like, more money, I guess. But, like, Rennie's surely not on $1 million.
Well, Rennie had 13 wins and 18 losses and 3 draws since taking over in 2020.
Jeez, that's pretty good.
Trent Robinson's believed to be north of 1.3 million per season.
Trent Robinson?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so they get paid handsomely.
Outside the cap.
It's not under cap.
No.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid handsomely. Yeah. So...
Eddie Jones being paid too handsomely.
Okay, can we go back to, was Dave Rennie, how far into his contract, how much on his contract did he have left?
He had the World Cup at least.
But I'm just trying to work it out. If it was like 2 more years, you got to pay that out. Like, it's just a disaster. This is artisanal. Oh, it smells so good.
Does it smell artisanal?
Yeah, dude. 39 of 50. 39 of 50.
Yeah, we get that thing plucked
Who's
up.
jealous?
Are you jealous?
Who's jealous?
Leave a comment if you're jealous about artisanal football.
Anyone jealous? Anyone at all? Any jealousy bitters?
Is there anybody jealous out there?
Shout out Titanic. Dave? Answers?
Yeah, so he was definitely sacked before his contract ended. I think it was meant to take him through this World Cup, but not to the next one. I don't know exactly where.
Why did they get rid of him in a World Cup year? It seems so strange. Surely he'd been building to this moment. And then they just come in and Eddie goes, nah, I'm taking over. Why, Eddie? Why are you taking over? Don't know.
Dude, I don't want you to kick in our artisanal football. That's
I'm not kicking it.
Well, like you're banging it. You know, never to be banged.
Really?
Nah, mate.
No, you got to test the... Mate, this is artisanal. This will go all day.
Well, see, no, I don't think artisanal goes all day.
No, it does.
I think artisanal needs to be behind glass.
No, this goes all day. Look at it. Look at this. Look at the stitching.
Do we get a plaque for it as well?
Mate, you can wear RMs all day long for years.
Yeah, but they end up becoming distressed, right? We don't want to distress the cowhide.
They go pretty good. The soles will come apart, but you can get the soles redone. This is artisanal.
I know it's artisanal.
Well, I don't think you do.
No, I understand.
I don't think you know what artisanal means.
Well, I don't know that you know what artisanal means.
Artisanal means goes all day, hand stitched.
No,
yeah, it does.
It means hand stitched, not goes all day.
Yeah, ipso facto, goes all day.
Not necessarily, because you could hand stitch like a very fine...
No, but you've got a man who knows his way around stitching, Tom, that knows his way around leather.
I'm more worried about the durability of the leather long term, if it's going to be...
Leather goes all day.
But we want this thing pristine. 16, dude. This is
You're
a
off your
fucking
head.
investment.
You could play 80 tough minutes of rugby union with this thing.
This thing's going to be an heirloom for one of our children.
Probably mine because you won't have a son.
Well, I think I will have a son, and why couldn't I give it to my daughter? She's sitting just there. Why don't you tell her to her face? Well,
Sorry, AB.
She's in a cubby house with headphones.
Not
on,
for
so she
you.
Can't hear the naughty language. Anyway, artisanal. Did we mention it? Are you jealous? It's artisanal.
Yeah, Rennie was meant to be coaching until the end of this year.
Right, but you know what? You know what, Rennie? We know you've been building to this, mate, but we have other plans, and they involve getting a coach in here. He
4
tells the
years,
media to
$1
give
million
up
a year.
upcuts.
Yep. No accountability, but now he's like, yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault. Yeah, okay. Well,
You know what would have been way smarter from Eddie? If he just comes in and goes, mate, we're not going to do anything. You know what I mean? We're not going to do anything. Young boys, just going to go out there and have a crack. Like, just play it all the way down. Lower expectations. Instead of saying we're going to win the World Cup, we're going to beat the All Blacks.
There was that ad
and
as
give
well.
yourself uppercuts.
What was that ad? Can you find that rugby ad that was pre-World Cup? That was fucked.
We're going to beat the All Blacks and win the World Cup.
Even just as, like the other day, he was like, we're going to beat Wales on the weekend. He's like, we are going to beat Wales on Sunday. Like, he got his days mixed up.
Oh, God. That's good. That's
He doesn't learn, though, does he? Ooh, chuck it here.
What?
Oh, I thought there was already a scratch on the artisanal ball. Is that a scratch?
No, that's the leather.
But that's an impurity in the leather.
Yeah, but that's because it's bespoke.
But it's impure.
No, it's not impure. It's
Because-
marked. Look, there's marks all over
But
it.
the mark goes to the other side, which would infer a scratch. These are separate pieces of leather. I'm just saying, you want to throw artisanal
There's
out
lines all over it.
39 of 50, RM Williams artisanal ball. It feels more like a Sharon, if I'm being honest. Could you imagine? That's an AFL ball.
It's not a rugby ball.
It's not a
So
rugby-
it doesn't look like a Gilbert.
That's an AFL ball.
It doesn't look like a
That's a
Gilbert.
fucking Sharon, dude.
Was that what they used to play with?
Well, they used to play with leather footballs. They don't then play with Sharons.
No, but I'm saying, is that an old school shape? In which case,
Would it shock you if they've made a Sharon? That's a Sharon.
it looks a lot more like a Sharon than a Gilbert.
It's a Sharon. That's a Sharon. That's an artisanal Sharon.
Did they used to play with Sharon-like footballs?
Well, they definitely used to play with stitches. The rugby ball,
They're still stitched, aren't they?
Yes. But I think maybe he means
but
the
no, like
laces.
those ones. So yeah, the Sharon is longer.
Okay.
Yeah, longer and like thinner
Okay.
than a rugby union ball.
Yeah, so you've just gone to what's the difference, not...
Did they used to play with
it?
balls that looked like Sharons?
Well, I don't know. They used to play.
No, you're not up to it,
Yeah,
mate. That's
That's
fine.
okay.
You're not up to it.
That's fine, buddy.
All good.
The shape of the ball hasn't really changed, but maybe the way
well,
it's
I bet you it
finished-
has.
An artisanal Sharon to me.
Yeah.
Bet you it has.
Okay.
Do you want to watch this ad?
Yeah, let's see this old rugby
Yeah.
ad.
Wallabies world champions. Big call.
Yeah, mate.
The All Blacks are looking good. Mm-hmm. And the Springboks, they got a lot of depth. And the French, they have the best player in the world. What's his name?
DuPont.
That's the one. Antoine Dupont.
Useful.
Wish you had more of those, hey? Wouldn't want to be in your shoes, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Oi, so you blokes think you can win the whole thing?
Mate, we're not going to France for the croissants.
That was one of them. There's one where it's like the dad or something. There's one where it's like...
Jesus.
Whereas-
Did you see that? Eddie Jones stars in brilliant World Cup ad.
Yeah.
Brilliance in
Okay,
capitals.
well, whose channel's that on?
I've never seen that ad either. so-
Forever Rugby.
Forever Rugby, brilliant ad. Not going for the croissants. Sounds like you were. Just find the one where it was like...
Yeah, I think that's this one.
Yeah.
Dad, there's a bloke he reckons the Wallabies are going to be world champions.
What, this year?
Yeah, this year in France.
Please, tell him the Wallabies are ranked like number 7 in the world.
The Wallabies are ranked like number 7. Oh, he said he knows that.
Well, tell him France are playing at home this year.
He said France are playing at home this year.
What'd he say?
He says you really know your rugby. And what else you got?
You could tell him from me, The Wallabies have absolutely no chance.
Dad said the Wallabies have absolutely no chance.
Absolutely no chance. Perfect.
Who is this for?
The Wallabies. We love proving Dad's wrong.
Oh my! Why run these ads? There was 0% chance of us winning. Zero.
Dude, that's so bad, dude. That's so bad. That was basically just like, that was just a fan, like, that ad was like correct.
But like, it's also just what? Oh, we love proving our fans wrong. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, our fans hate us. Oh, cool.
He knows about his rugby, that guy. He obviously knows, right? He's obviously a fan of the game. He's got his Cadbury on the table. Man loves his rugby union.
Well, they even fucking say it. He's like, this guy knows his rugby. So he knows we're shit. He knows we can't win it.
And he's like, well, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to shit all over him.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you didn't.
Well, you didn't, mate. We got pounded. Worst ever loss all time to Wales. Lost to Fiji.
Like,
Can I be honest? Portugal starting to look scary.
No, we're worried about Portugal. We're looking over, that meme when the guy's looking over his shoulder at Portugal. But like, whoever came up with those ads, surely was there not one person in the room going, but what if we lose?
Well, no. There should have been someone in the room going, what happens when we lose?
Well, exactly. You know, do you ever seen Dumb and Dumber? Do you remember that movie, Dumb and Dumber? Jim Carrey. That's crazy.
Oh, yes.
At one point in the movie, he gets one of them gets shot in the chest. He's wearing it. They're like doing a sting to uncover like some criminals. He gets shot in the chest. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. Then afterwards, they're like, "What if he shot me in the face?" And they're like, "Well, that was a risk we were willing to take." And it's just like this. It's like, what if we lose? It's like, well, fuck it. Like,
we won't.
We won't. Fuck it. We'll just.
What kind of attitude is that?
We'll take the risk, eh? Let's see what happens. And it's like, we got fucking humped by everyone. We barely beat Georgia.
We're 35-15.
Yeah, right?
Tight.
Like, that's tight. That's tight.
That's tight.
Considering it's Georgia.
Yep. But Georgia were good this year.
Oh, yeah. Georgia's really good this year. Okay. Then we lose to fucking Wales by 40-6. Can't even score a try.
Was it 40-6?
Yep.
I thought it was 40-7.
We didn't score a try, Edward.
There is still hope though. If Fiji lose to both Portugal and Georgia, then we can make it.
Yeah.
There is that.
Anyway, punters and dribblers.
That's it, eh?
We've listened. Our berets on the front door on the handle.
Yeah.
If you've got a Wallabies beret, I know plenty of you do. Put them out.
Shane Keith Centre of Excellence. We've got our beret out the front.
The only good thing that happened today is I got this artisanal football delivered.
Yeah. That's literally it. You have to take and find silver linings where they can be found, and ours is in the form of an artisanal Sharon.
That Owen Williams collab's starting to look pretty weird because they're known for quality.
Yeah.
Owen Williams.
Yeah.
Particularly artisanal quality.
Yes.
Which isn't being reflected on the scoreboard.
No, they're also known to be less than affordable. No disrespect. And
you don't reckon the common man could afford this?
I don't know that they would be looking to spend $1,000 on an artisanal football unless it was for a bit.
Unless it was for content.
Yeah, unless it was for a content bit.
How many people bought this and put it in their home office? What did most people buy this for if it wasn't for a bit? The most expensive bit in the history of the show.
Tell you what, that ball's going to be getting a workout on Sunday in here.
This thing isn't going to look like this on Sunday. After Sunday. It's going to be hot too.
It is going to be hot.
And you know what leather happens to leather in heat?
Stresses. Stretches.
I think it gets sluttier.
Yeah. Back to rugby, sorry. But comparatively, we don't have good players. So I get there's actually a level of sympathy I have for him where you're there's only so much you can do with what you've got. And there's systemic failures throughout the entire fucking organisation that have led us to this point of having no one. But he also made some fucking god-awful selection or omissions. No Quade Cooper, no Bernard Foley, no Michael Hooper. None of these big-name players who have been there and done that. And if we've got no one, you're better off having people who have done it before than just going, fuck it, let's just start with youngins, the youngest team we've ever fucking...
And ruin their confidence.
Well, fucking ruin their confidence. It's like they're not going to be world beaters, most likely, right? Like we don't have great rugby union players right now in the country. So, yeah, you're going to fuck their confidence, but, like, they're also not up to it. So, that's like... So, he's fucked up there. But you have to also cut him some slack or at least acknowledge that he was pushing shit uphill from a cattle perspective.
100%. I think that I'm pretty sure that has been acknowledged, right?
Spilled water all over myself.
Very consistent.
Well, we didn't acknowledge it until this point in terms of, like, we just beat the shit out of Eddie Jones. We had a little bit of a crack at the fucking...
We had a crack at the domestic competition, sending players overseas. Yeah. We've done all that.
But just getting over there with, like, a pile of... Well, not a pile of shit. I mean, just players.
Sure. Like, okay, great. Completely agree. But don't come out and say we're going to beat the All Blacks. No. Don't come out and say we're going to win the World Cup. Yeah. Don't say come out and ask the journos to give themselves uppercuts when you hadn't won a game yet. Like,
he was feeling the pressure. He was clearly feeling the pressure.
It's a bit much.
It's way too much. It's grand final week, and that's what really matters. That's the positivity that we need to be, and the excitement we need to be talking about here. Grand fucking final week.
Granny week.
Penrith Panthers, Brisbane Broncos. Brisbane also in the grand final in the AFL, which is hectic.
Big week for Brisbane.
Dave, you were spotted leaving the game early when your Storm team were getting fucked to death.
I was. Well, you got to beat the traffic, all the way out at Homebush. Could get back at like 1 a.m.
Dog.
You were driving.
I wasn't. My dad was.
But yeah, so dog. So it's not like you were
so what time did you
leave?
leave?
Get the train.
We left, I think maybe when they scored their last try. And I was like, that's it. We're not coming back. Before then, I was like, 10 minutes to go, 30 points, we can do it.
I've never walked out of a game early.
Yeah, because you're made of the right stuff. Dave's not.
Dave's a dog.
I was proud of the boys.
Were you?
For the season.
Yeah, right.
You were like, they're going to win.
Well, we were going to win. Which was
just ridiculous.
We were going to win up until like the third set when we gave away a penalty, and then the next set after they scored off that set when we gave away another penalty.
Check the tapes. Panthers and Broncos were the only teams going to make the grand final.
They were the only teams going to make the grand final. The Broncos then, obviously, they humped the Wars. Wars were valiant, at least at the start of the game. They were good, like it was close.
Yeah, but
it was always going to
yeah, but like if you think about it, like I think would they let it? It was an easy penalty or something for their first try, so they had good field position. The second one was intercept from DWZ off Reece Walsh. Like, they weren't really ever in it.
They weren't like dominant or on top, but it was a tight affair. It was a closer game. There was more to it. And even, mate, an intercept, you're still making it happen. And the try that the first try that DWZ scored it was a for penalty or something, but it was like a well-worked backline move. Like Sean Johnson was slick, right?
Yeah.
Like, they made the Broncos defense fail. But then, like, in the Storm game, did you guys score first? No, Toto scored first, but then, like...
Yeah, it was 4-4.
Olam just absolutely stood up Tungo, and then Olam had a chance to score again, just dropped it cold. You're like, a couple of those things early on, and it could have been a different game, but... Mate, Penrith, like, I don't know who I'm going for in this. Obviously, you've got Kempy, who's insufferable, and who we basically got to the Broncos to the grand final with that liver in round 1 or 2 or whatever it was. But, like... As soon as this game was finished, right, and it went to full time, the chat immediately just started as to how great this Penrith side is, right? And, like, that's the thing that I can't...
4 grand finals is outrageous.
4 grand finals, going for their third. Cleary, 25. Their 2 front rowers, like, 27, 28. Yo's 27, 28. Like, they've got... Dylan Edwards is probably the oldest player in the team at, like, 30 probably. But, like, there's something about watching a dynasty at work that I'm actually, like...
Dylan Edwards is 27.
Dylan Edwards was 27.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about greatness that has got me excited. Like, I don't hate Penrith like I hate the Roosters, like I hate the Storm, in terms of, like, successful teams being successful.
100%.
I also don't hate the Roosters and the Storm like I hate the Eels, right? Like, I hate good sides for being good. There's that, like, competitive hatred.
Well, the Roosters...
As opposed to, like, the Eels and the Dragons.
The Roosters is they buy everyone and they got...
But they're good, right?
Yeah. I respect them, but I don't like them.
This is the greatest team you've probably ever seen.
With your own eyeballs.
Yeah. But even, like, obviously you can't compare eras, but, like...
No, you can't.
The last three-peat was in the 80s.
Eels.
Eels?
80, 1, 2, 3, I think.
But like, this is the best team you've ever seen with your eyeballs. And the idea of like Nathan getting a third, like 3 in a row. Nathan again, you shit on Cleary. We shit on Cleary for Origin, and I will continue to do so until he dominates there. But
he's a clubman.
Dude, he ripped, dude.
He's a clubman.
He ripped in that game.
He's an absolute clubman.
Luai, dude. Luai's so tough. Like I said it when he dislocated his shoulder and came off.
Do you see he was like, I'm a different
beast or built different or whatever. You're like, yeah, dude, you are. Why is Brian To'o in a Queensland jersey there?
Where?
Or am I seeing that? My eyes
what
are showing.
What are you talking about?
Dude, that my eyes are wigging. That was crazy, dude. I hope I'm not having a fucking episode. Brian To'o's jersey looked red to me then for a second. It doesn't now, I can assure you.
What did the PCM King knock up? Give me the PCM King's stats.
PCM's 46.
46, be quiet.
Him and
4
Crichton,
line breaks, though. Wow.
Yeah. Fisher Harrison, Scott Sorensen.
How many meters did he run for, Brian?
How many meters?
181.
181.
Jesus Christ, just unstoppable.
3 tries.
I like greatness. I've always been drawn to greatness, Tom. I have a crush on greatness.
Yeah.
For as long as I can remember. And in this situation, I'm going to side with greatness once more. I respect the Broncos. I'm also attracted to hotness. We know this.
It's hotness v greatness, this grand final.
It's hotness v greatness. Like, there's this absolute dish walking down the street strutting her stuff, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. Whereas greatness over here is probably more alluring. It's like gold.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, okay, you've got my attention.
Well, like what, gold and diamonds? Is gold like sort of established greatness? You know, everything's sort of like gold's recognized, and then diamonds is sort of like hot flash. Or do you think diamonds is greatness?
I don't know if I'd compare diamonds and gold. I don't.
Well, you're saying gold. You're bringing that sort of shit to the.
Yeah, but I mean, but if Panthers are gold, the gold standard, then the Storm's like a ruby or something. You know,
we can't get back into the stones, the semi-precious stones, and all. We've been here before.
No point getting bogged down.
Looking red again.
Jesus Christ, mate! You need to close your eyes and blink a couple of times.
Anyway,
Pungo got stood up.
Yeah, he did.
Big time by Justin Olam, but outside of that, it was just a defensive masterclass. If you had the wherewithal, the stones, the vision, the greatness to identify that the Storm wouldn't score more than 10 points and that the Panthers would, and that Brian To'o would score and you get like 450 for it, if you had the brilliance to recognise that, congratulations to you. Give yourself a pat on the back for an inspired bet. Unders... Listen, I didn't think that they'd put 38 points on them. That was my fault. I didn't think the Storm would bend over, arch their backs and go, give it to me, Daddy. I didn't see that coming. But they were never going to win this football game. Know that. There was zero chance of them winning this football game. Absolutely staggering. The Panthers can lose kick-outs. They can lose Burtons. They can lose... Appy Coruscant. Capewell's.
Coaches.
Glory Holes, coaches. They've lost both their assistants, and they just turn around and they go, you know what? Who gives a shit?
Dude, they didn't make a mistake.
Job not done.
I'm pretty sure they didn't make a mistake till the 60th minute.
And you compare that, Tom, if we look at this game, 38-4 against the Storm, who have been, again, the gold standard for the last 20 years. They don't make errors, right? They squeeze you, they kick unbelievably well, and they don't let you score points. Whereas if you compare that to the Broncos game, at points in that game, there was errors almost every set. Like, it was disgraceful how many errors we're getting made.
The Broncos, though, the
defense is like pretty fucking leaky.
The Broncos?
Yeah.
They'll need to play shitloads better if they're going to beat the Panthers.
Like, get the errors up for the Broncos game.
But the thing that the Broncos have is just this devil-may-care, cavalier, rip and tear sort of a style, offload heavy. Reece Walsh, dude. Like, what a game. What a game.
Listen, 10 errors they made. 10 to 9.
Yeah, they had more errors than Warriors.
It's too many. 42-12, like they did, but you got to remember they actually scored 3 tries, and if Pompey could kick, then it would have been 42-18. Like, it's a lot of. It's still letting in close to 20 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the Panthers are going to limit you. They're going to limit your points, and they're going to score them too. Like, they're up against it, the Broncos, I feel.
Yes,
I
they
feel
definitely
like they're
are.
really up against
They
it.
definitely are. It's just about, I guess, like, and again,
What do we want to
X's and O's.
see?
I want to see a close game. Or, I guess, listen, dude, okay, put it this way. If the Broncos win, you want it some... I think we're lucky because I don't really give a fuck what happens. I'm
I
siding
sort
with
of do.
greatness.
No, I sort of do. Because Kempy becomes insufferable. And it just, I'm sorry, he'll get on my nerves.
No, that's true.
What do you want? I'm not going to sit here again on my own podcast, Punters and Dribblers, and tell Porky Pies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Kempy will be insufferable to the point where I'd need a breather. I'd need a breather.
Yeah.
I couldn't be around him.
No, that's true.
That's nothing more than just raw, unbridled honesty. I think I want the Panthers to win. In fact, I know I want.
No, I know I want the Panthers to win, but look, removing Kempy, right? Because obviously
Just remove Kempy.
because he's an intangible. That's he's in our lives. He's not in the lives of the punter and the dribbler.
Correct.
So remove Kempy from this for a period. Although he is in your lives because you listen to his podcast, I assume. If the Broncos win, I'm happy to see hotness prevail, and you would assume it's going to be like either a really tight affair or it's going to be flash and it's going to be greatness realised. Reece Walsh, Payne Haas, Carrigan, like these guys sort of. Ezra Mann, one of my favourite players.
Rimmy stuff.
Rimmy stuff, greatness, hotness realised, Rimmy Central.
Yeah.
Rimmy Rugby League.
Rimmy Rugby League, yeah.
But then if the Panthers win, it's like, wow, we're watching just something that, again, you haven't seen for whenever the Eels did it in the 80s.
Yep.
Like,
Doesn't happen.
it doesn't happen. And Cleary is 25 years old.
Like, if the Panthers win, we haven't seen a team win 3 in a row since Manly 06, 07, 08.
06?
Where we got knocked out. In the
Sorry,
semi.
no, 07, 08, 09.
07, 08, 09.
Sure.
Well, who won in 07? We did. Who won in 08? We did. And in 09, we got knocked out in the semis.
By the Storm, I think.
Yeah. So we won that. So what I'm saying is it's very rare. It's very, very rare.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen every other day. So soak it up, punters and dribblers.
Yeah.
Drink it in.
Tell you what, could you imagine if the Broncos win the AFL and the NRL?
Could you imagine if they win nothing?
Well, that would be great as well. That would actually be great. That
Which
would
is
crazy
more
that
likely.
It was so close to being Panthers, Broncos, and Brisbane Lions versus GWS as well. That could have been both.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been.
They had a bit of a lead as well going into half time,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Lost
that
by
was
one.
sad. 1
Tight.
point in it.
So tight.
1 point. Devo.
Interesting. I'm sure the West would have got around that. Be that as it may, they didn't.
Excuse me.
The Warriors, again, it's just...
The Warriors, I think they overachieved. And that's full respect to the Warriors, but like this is a great year for the Warriors. No one expected anything.
What did I
from
say
it.
about even? I said Warriors played their grand final last week in front of the faithful. They dominated and destroyed the Knights. Shawnee Johnson, in tears. Your fans are there. Like, it was a beautiful moment. But you've got to be able to recognise a grand final when you see it, and that's what I saw last week.
Yeah.
There was no way they'll come to Suncorp and doing anything that remotely came close to a win.
No. I would like...
No offense.
There are some storylines here. Obviously, we've got father-son v. father-son, Cleary and Cleary v. Walters and Walters.
I tell you what, young Billy the Kid was pretty good on the weekend.
He was good, man, and I'm
He
happy
was pretty
for him.
good.
I'm happy for him because I like
Scored
that
a
one where
coupler.
people are like, nepotism. Billy wasn't really he didn't debut, I think, in the NRL till 25, 26. He got let go from the Tigers of all disrespectful. Another one the Tigers let go, right? Like, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, not even the Tigers want me. Now, in fairness, they were getting Nappy Coruscant, but you go then to the Broncos under your dad. I think, and I can't remember where I heard someone talking about this, but a lot of the chat, might have even been Guru, shout out to the great and powerful Guru, whose podcast post-game have been getting me hard. But that there was a lot of talk this year about, again, some Broncos backup hooker that I don't even fucking know his name of, but they were talking about him as though he was going to feature a lot this year because there wasn't much hype around Billy Walters, or people didn't think that much of him. But he's actually become a fully fledged first grade hooker and a good one at that. These 2 tries, that first one was great. And then the second one, he's obviously backing up in the middle when Reece Walsh is being a fucking psychopath. But, I really like Billy Walters, and it'd be nice. I'd like that. I like seeing those happy stories. I like seeing dad and son crying on the field after, achieving some great dream.
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Like Nathan.
But we're guaranteed that.
We're guaranteed that. But Nathan and fucking Ivan have done it already a couple of times.
Yeah, but three-peat's different, mate.
I know. Look, it is. It's different.
Three-peat's a different kettle of fish. I mean, two-peats you see every now and then. Again, pretty rare. We've seen it. The Roosters. We've seen it, Manly. We've seen it. Broncos in the 90s. Like, you got to go back to the 80s for a three-peat, except for Manly. So they don't happen very often. And I fully expect, Tom, that if the Panthers are to win, that embrace is going to be a special one.
Yeah.
Whereas the Billy with the Kevy one, I think did Billy lose his wife?
No, Kevy's. Yeah,
Kevy lost his wife, Billy's mum.
Yeah.
There's going to be something powerful there.
That's powerful.
We're going
to
to see something really powerful there.
Yeah, that'd be, and that's sort of why I like that.
I like that. Kempy aside, I like that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I'd pick that. Like I'd deal with Kempy's bullshit for that.
Yeah, so would I. It'd be a powerful image, and I think that would be one that you would see permeate throughout the years.
Yeah, it'd be memorable.
It'd be one they'd roll out every grand final day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking oath they would, and so they should. But it's an exciting one. It's just a good week, dude. I love grand final week. I love that AFL's on Saturday, and then we've got the NRL on the Sunday. Like, it's all good.
It is good. I tell you what, though, is good about the Bronx making it. They can actually beat Penrith.
They can beat.
Whereas no one else could have.
Adam Reynolds, dude. He's the only one.
No one else could have.
Adam Reynolds is the man to do it if anyone's going to do it. And he is a fucking football.
Like, if the Warriors were to make it this weekend, no offense, you'd be going, who gives a shit?
You'd be George
Rosen.
Rosen.
It's all over.
You'd be George Rosen.
You'd be George Rosen. You'd be saying the same thing that every single Manly boy we've talked to said, game, set, match, it's over. I've won a premiership.
I've won a premiership after winning a semi. That's how it is. Or a prelim, whatever the fuck they want to call it. I think the Panthers do it. I think they do it. But again, those big thick Broncos forwards, Haas, Carrigan,
Payne Haas is a freak.
They're gonna the Broncos this may be their shot as well. Like, obviously they've still got good players, but like
they're losing Flegler and Herbie.
Herbie was man of the match almost. If he wasn't man of the match, he might have been man of the match. But Herbie fucking ripped, and Flegler's fucking good. That like 1-2 punch with Carrigan bringing up the caboose.
I tell you what, Herbie, Katoni, and Jesse Arthurs all look very similar.
I don't know about that. Katoni and Herbie couldn't like. They got similar hair, maybe. One's a white Englishman.
Similar hair.
Indigenous.
Similar
style.
hair. Mo. Get him up. Get him up.
I think this is a stretch.
Nah. Look at that. Similar.
Yeah, it's all right.
Similar.
You would say similar.
Yeah. They look
Maybe.
really similar.
I don't know about really similar, but maybe a little bit there. Sure.
Just worth pointing out.
No, sure. Kid can play. Herbie can play.
Kids can play.
Kids can play. Reece Walsh can play.
Herbie's a big loss. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Reece Walsh.
Well, there was one point where Reece just gets it and hits a gap, and
that was the Billy Walters
when he
second
gave
try.
the Billy to second. Yeah, just held it up.
Dude.
I'm like, oh my.
But
God.
then what about when he throws that intercept to Dallin, then comes back again that same edge and just instead of going
he went short.
Short. Herbie threw.
Bang, easy. I'm like, kid can play, and obviously. You know what was tough to watch after the Watani Zelezniak intercept is Watani then starts like trying to like either jam in off the wing or make the same intercept, and Reece is having none of it. He's like, no. He's like, you need to start adjusting here, bruh, because I have.
Yeah.
And you were getting shown the fuck up.
And he was. Like, they just kept going down
Watani looked bad after that intercept.
Herbie
he got made to look like an idiot.
Herbie 2, Ezra 2, Jesse Arthurs. Like, they just kept coming
They plowed that edge. They go, oh, okay, is that what you're going to do, bruh?
You're just going to come up and in, are you?
Sweet.
Oh, wingers jamming in. Whoops,
Okay.
never seen that before.
It was bad after that.
that
Real
was.
bad. Poor old Watani.
The thing that was interesting is, like, as the game got on for the Broncos, like, they actually didn't play well. Like, they did play well, but, like, there were some like random kicks in that game at some point where just like things were just happening. Like they'd got into a lead. It wasn't like clinical, like we're into a lead, let's just fucking close this thing out and just do it. Like it was.
Not how they play.
Well, it was for the first they were playing that way for the start of the game. And then after they got this lead, it was just sort of like they're just throwing these random kicks around. Reece Walsh threw a couple of random kicks and they're just like, dude, maybe that's the sort of footy you need to play to beat
Ezra had
Penrith.
a couple of good ones, though.
Maybe that's the kind of footy you need to play to beat Penrith. I don't know what
I
the
don't
fuck
think so.
I'm talking about, but it was a little bit all over the shop.
I will say this, whenever they had the ball, they looked like they were going to score.
Yeah.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous. Like every set sort of stuff.
Game. I'm so horny for
Every
this game.
set sort of stuff. You just wonder what the Panthers' famed defence does to contain them. Well, they beat him in round 1, mate. Okay. Do we give a shit about what happened in round 1, bro? Well, they did. Not the same thing, mate.
No, it's not.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Manly won the preseason comp. Do you see me sitting here going, well, Manly won the preseason comp?
Well, we did win the preseason comp.
Yeah, but I'm not using it now.
No, but but we did win.
Yes, we did. But it's no longer relevant.
Well, Eddie, you brought it up, and considering you did, I think right now it is relevant. Like right now it is because you brought it up, and we did win the preseason comp.
Yeah, we did.
$100,000.
I will say this. If you aren't the Panthers, who won the minor premiership, and the winner of the grand final this week, none of you won anything except us.
So it'll be the Premiers.
So at this point in time, the only people to have won anything this year are us and Penrith.
Yeah, and Queensland.
I'm talking clubland footy.
Yeah. Us and Penrith.
That's it.
Two best sides of the comp.
The only two teams to win anything. Think about that. Let that sink in.
I told you it was relevant. I knew it was relevant.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Let it wash over you.
Yeah.
Manly and Penrith, only two teams to win something this year. And coincidentally enough, was the same amount.
Sunday, hotness v greatness.
Who wins?
Which prevails? Hotness?
This is actually going to be, you know when there's like a high court decision and they use it to, you know...
To put new torts in the law?
Well, just like, oh, well, because of this case goes this way. What's the term?
A precedent.
A precedent. This will have far-reaching implication, punters and dribblers, in terms of being able to predict games of footy moving forward, big games, important games.
Yeah.
Greatness v hotness. Who wins? Does greatness, being that it is great, prevail over young, fickle hotness?
The thing is as well, there's a little hotness in the greatness and there's a little greatness in the hotness, but...
There's no greatness in the hotness.
Well, there are...
Where's the greatness?
Payne Haas, Carrigan.
Still, no, but like if they retired tomorrow, you would just say they're great?
Payne Haas, you probably would, but...
they're not great yet.
But there's the smouldering embers of greatness in the hotness.
What you've got is a couple of greatness seeds getting watered, but they're not fucking more than that. They're not more than that.
Smouldering embers that could hopefully, blow up into a rip-roaring greatness fire. But there's the smouldering embers, and then in the greatness, there's a couple of hotties. Not many, but a couple. Nathan is sort of hot.
Can I be honest with you? In the full-on hotness stakes,
Toto.
Toto's probably the hottest.
Critter's pretty hot.
If I'm being fair dinkum. Whereas if I look at that Broncos side, I'm like, Jesus.
I tell you who's hot, by the way, who I just don't think gets nearly enough raps. Adam Reynolds, dude.
Adam's hot.
But, like, he's never... I don't know if it's, if it's that people are...
Bit short.
Well, no, that doesn't matter. Well, Dave, sorry, it's a thing. Shut up. Jokes, short kings. No, I don't think it's a short thing.
Why do you think then?
I think it's people's wigging out about his tattoos. Neck tat.
You reckon it's a neck tat thing?
Well, why isn't he spoken about more openly as being...
I'm trying to be...
Can you get a picture of the press conference after the game? All I was looking at was Adam Reynolds going, he is so fucking hot.
All I'm trying to do, and I'm not trying to impugn on Dave's short work, I'm just trying to go, why could it be?
Biz is not that tall.
I'm not saying, so am I. I'm saying maybe it's the tats. Because the height thing, you can't tell the height. I mean, you can, but you can't, tell it.
Look at that.
Look at that motherfucker. Now, obviously, he's juxtaposed by an aging Kevin Walters, but, Look at that guy. I mean, I still need someone to explain to me that fucking huge scar he's got on his head, right? Like, because it looks like it's shaved in.
I don't think that's a scar. That's.
You think he just shaves that into his head?
Yep.
Can you find young Adam Reynolds? I don't think so. I think that's a scar because we need to find young. No, keep that one up because he's hot. New tab.
You tab, please.
New tab, please.
You reckon that's a scar?
I would be shocked.
Could be.
Well, like as in, it's like to have to be so attached to a style of hair your entire career without ever wavering from it.
Oh, entire career?
That's what I'm trying to work out. See, there's a little bit of
one there's there. A little one, though. I think he likes it.
No, I think it's a scar.
You reckon?
Yeah. Missy Higgins.
Ooh. It's not there.
Oh, it is there, down there. No, it's there. It's a scar. I think it's a scar.
Go to that. Go to him, Blue Star Adam Reynolds. That one with his shirt off, looking really nice.
Shirt, this one.
Tattoos are also elegant.
You don't reckon? You don't reckon that's a look?
I don't know.
That's a hell of a scar.
I know. But like, have you got to be so into the. You've got to be so into that shaved thing to be committing to that for your entire career.
It's not his whole career though. Look, go to that.
No, but look, his hair's a bit longer. So like, where the hair's brushed over it.
Or maybe he's just not rocking it.
Dude, if he's been rocking that, but like, we need to work. Nah, scar. Look at it. It's there. It's a scar, dude. It's Missy Higgins. It's there.
You reckon?
I think so.
You're the hair expert. I'm going to trust your judgment.
I'm
not ruling it out.
It's too consistent. Now, he may be cutting his hair. There it is. You can see it.
Yeah.
Seen from space.
Scar. It's got to be.
Yeah, like he
or
might.
Is that just the remnants of it?
He might get certain haircuts to amplify the scar. Like he might, because people used to shave in a part line into their hair.
Did they?
People would do that, yeah. Like he may have gone with that at some point.
Got to be a scar.
It's a scar, dude.
Yep.
But a particularly good-looking man who I think gets overlooked far too often. Far too often.
Completely agree, Tom. So that's what we've got. We've got an epic showdown between greatness and hotness. And there's some hotness in the Panthers, but not a whole lot of it. And there's a heap of hotness in the Broncos, but not a heap of greatness.
Yeah. Well,
Adam Reynolds is great.
Adam Reynolds is great. You know
Payne
what?
Haas is great.
Back to Adam Reynolds, dude. He is great. And he hasn't had
I just said.
No, I know. But he hasn't had the respect that he deserves over his career. South disrespected him by letting him go. Obviously, Nathan Cleary is who he is. Reynolds should have played a shitload more Origins.
I tell you what.
He should have played a shitload
Punters
more.
and dribblers, if we want to start talking results, okay, which we've obviously been doing, but just consider this when you're putting on your bets this week with Neds. If I'm the rugby league gods, I'm looking at Jason Demetrio's comments being like he reckons that Ilias is a better player than Reynolds. And I'm almost going, I'm going to fucking show you, bruh, and give the Broncos the win as a fuck you to Jason.
Are there odds out yet?
Honestly, if you think about the way the gods operate, Tom, that's right up there. That's right up there in terms of, you know what? Let's give the finger to JD.
Let's give him the big old finger. I just want to see if there's some odds.
Yeah, so Broncos $2.30, Penrith $1.62.
Line 4.5, 5.5,
3.5,
3.5. Damn. It's all pretty tight. These odds.
I tell you what I might be doing.
What?
I might be asking myself this question. So we've got the gods who want to give the finger to JD. There's a possibility there.
The gods may also want to.
I'm also thinking about how hard it is to three-peat. Does that come into it? Has to. Is there a reason it doesn't happen more often?
Yeah, but it's hard to two-peat, right? And no two-peaters have got to a third. I don't think.
Do you think there'll be some kind of complacency from Penrith? They've been there last 2 years.
I don't think so,
whatever.
man. This team does not seem like that. Like, if they were complacent, would they have made the grand final? Their finals games, they beat the shit out of the Warriors. They beat the shit out of the Storm.
Well,
I tell you what I like
And
is
now they're
that
in the grand
I
final.
like that we're sitting here going, oh, I'm an R. We're on the Panthers, really, but like we're going, geez, the Broncos can win. I like that, as opposed to going to grand finals, be like, well,
Can you believe it's been a
This is
year
fairly
since
obvious.
we were in the bunker, thinking the world was going to win?
like last year, let's be honest. What? Oh, yeah, I know. Like last year, let's be honest, the Eels weren't going to win. There's no chance.
You had to prepare for it, though.
But they didn't.
No, they didn't. They got smoked.
They got absolutely pumped. That was brutal. Again, just grand final experience, way more calm. You
Yeah.
got to go the Panthers.
That's what I mean.
You
The young
gotta-
kids in there, like, they're going to...
Dude, they're going to be bright-eyed, wigging.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be wigging. I actually think the Panthers are, like, guaranteed. What are they paying again?
$1.62.
yeah.
Hopefully that gets a bit more even, closer to...
It's not going to. It'll get pounded in.
You reckon?
I reckon that's the best price you'll get. 162.
You don't reckon there's going to be some late money for
They
the
will
Broncos?
get plowed. That's my prediction. I'm here to make predictions, Tom.
You are. Bold ones.
Beautiful ones, too.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not Jack for this week, punters and dribblers, shame on you.
Yep, shame on you.
In the AFL, Collingwood taking on the Lions. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Just
that would
thought I'd
be-
mention it.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd mention it. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a rat's ass? That would be what I would say. I'll watch it.
No one cares.
I'll watch it, though.
Nobody cares. That's what I'll say.
But no one cares.
That's what I'll say about that. Nobody cares.
But I'll watch it.
But
Some
no one
people
cares.
care.
What
I would have
time's the
preferred if it
grand
was
final this what year? 7 again?
league.
Yeah.
And it's daylight savings.
So
Oh.
it'll be dark. Dark by the time the game ends.
7:30, which could mean an 8
Oh, no,
p.m.
dark.
kickoff.
Dark.
Yeah, dark.
Dark.
Which is annoying, but whatever.
Too late.
We have this every year. It's just like, oh, yeah, bring the Bears back. Fucking, grand final.
I know. We talk about it every year. But worth remembering that the AFLs is during the day and they get bigger ratings than ours.
And it rips, and it's really good.
So don't think it matters.
No.
Just on that, I did see something that was the prelim between the Warriors and the Broncos was the highest watched ever. They had like just over 1 million people watching it from New Zealand alone.
You know as well that the Storm, it's the biggest loss in prelim finals history.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Now we hold both records, prelim and grand final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys suck.
You're welcome.
You guys suck.
Yeah.
Did you go out there on Friday night with any thought that you could win?
I knew we could win.
Which jersey did you wear?
I went with the white
Shouldn't have.
and the 13 plus.
Idiot.
But it's like, we didn't play like a team who deserved to be in a prelim final all season. The fact that we finished third, but we still had a bad season.
Do you think it's sort of
It's
last
like-
days of Rome sort of vibes? You guys are on the way out.
No, I think it's mid because it's rebuilding, but we still have the greatness there. We just need to build around that.
Yeah, I don't think you do. I don't think you're a great side. Munster's great.
Munster, Harry Grant, Pappenhausen
Harry
back
Grant
next
hasn't.
year.
He's great, but he's not greatness.
We got
Munster's
young
greatness.
players like Eli Katoa and Will Warbrick only going to get better next year. But
Sure.
yeah, third place. I'll take third place in a bad season. You know what I mean?
Wake me up when you're done.
Oh, I could go on forever. So yeah, guys
cut
like
his mic.
Trent Liero
Cut
and
his mic.
Justin Olam.
Cut his Justin Olam. Fucking hell, he didn't have a great game. Let's be
He
real.
needs to work on his defense.
Where else are we here, Edward? In terms of rugby league, I don't have a whole
The
heap.
forward pass in the Broncos game.
Oh yeah, like whatever.
Oh,
They beat
whatever.
the shit out of
Mate.
him. Yeah, it was a forward pass. It was a bad one. Don't get me wrong, it was a bad one.
Yeah, but okay, let's go through it logically. The touchy couldn't keep up with the play. Reece is too quick. He throws a forward pass. You can't rule on forward passes for some stupid reason.
That'll
it.
change. That'll change. After that, it will. It'd have to, right? But you do, you almost need touchies that are fucking, touchies should be able to do juice. Why
Well-
can't touchies do juice?
Well, I'm sure they can.
Why can't touchies do
Why,
fucking
why wouldn't they be
PEDs?
able to?
They don't look like
I guarantee
they
you
do.
they don't get tested.
Well, I guarantee you they don't do it.
Yeah, but it's not about being jacked. It's about being quick.
Yeah, but that's dope.
But so what I'm saying is, if you looked at Lance Armstrong, you wouldn't be like, oh, he dopes because he's jacked.
No, but
so you wouldn't be able to tell logically.
Sprinters who are running really fucking fast.
No, but you don't need to be sprint. You need to be able to run all game.
And you need to be quick. Otherwise, you're going to get fucking outrun by Reece Walsh.
Well, they need quicker blokes.
Yeah, that build dope, dude. Sprinters, dope.
I think it's more about like halftime blood transfusions.
We can do that too.
Just to keep you going at high octane the whole
Eddie,
time.
we need them like pissing green. These guys have got to be full to the gills.
Yeah, not quick enough.
I don't think you need to worry about, let's not draw the game out. Listen, if you want to make video refs being able to rule on it, that's fine. But I think that PVL needs to introduce a rigorous and strict doping policy within the ranks of refereeing. First.
Before we go to fucking more technology.
More time, slowing the game down. Let's just give some fucking Russian-style drugs to the referees.
Because you know what you could do? You could just have automatically, like the VAR in soccer, if it's offside, it just goes bang, and the refs inform straight away it went forward. You know what rugby league would do? We'd have 7,000 different camera angles and we'd slow it down. We'd go, well, hang on, wait, just pause it here. Can I get the other camera? Can I go back? And we'd spend 50 fucking minutes looking at it and they'd finally go, inconclusive. That's what we do in rugby league, as we just get pounded by KFC ads the whole time. Yeah. Wait, can I get another camera, mate?
Huge KFC fan, though.
I love it, but like, you know, what, you don't think I know what's going on, bro? Come on.
We just, so let's just dope the refs.
Yeah, because otherwise we'll have to put up with the bullshit we've got to put up with now. They watch it, right? Think about this. The ref on field goes, yep, try. Between that period and them going, well, hang on, can we have a look? They've already looked at it 50 times. And then they go, let's look at it again. And we look at it another 80, 90, 100 times. Like, you've already looked at it. In between the time of looking at it, before you've said try confirmed, you go, it's not a try, and we move on. Yeah. Don't stop us to look at it, even though you've looked at it and realise it's not a no try, and look at it again to tell me it's a no try when you know it's a no try.
Yeah.
Does my fucking head in.
What drugs do you need to organise? Do we get Stephen Dank? Is he head of referees?
PEDs, blood transfusion, what are they called? IOPs, IPO? EPO. The ones the Sharks got done for.
Peptides. Steroids,
testosterone.
So if we get
and fresh oxygenated blood.
Yeah, youth, like the blood of young children.
Adrenochrome stuff.
Adrenochrome. Yeah. Youthful blood.
Stem cell stuff.
Yeah.
Unicorn blood too.
Yep. But yeah,
did you know this, that if you suck on the blood of a unicorn, you live forever?
Yeah, I've heard that.
It has like this immortality elixir in it or something.
Wow, does it make you quick though? Because I don't really care about living forever right now. I don't need these refs to live forever.
Well, are they quick?
Unicorns. Well, they're horses. Like, horses are quick. They also have wings though, right? They fly.
They'd have to be
No, they didn't have wings.
They don't have wings?
No, you're thinking of a Pegasus.
Pegasus has wings.
I'm thinking about a Pegasus.
So unicorns just have horns.
Yeah.
Yes.
And covered in
glitter.
Glitter?
Well, certainly the
I think
unicorns.
that's more modern depictions.
Unicorns in our house covered in glitter.
But a classic depiction of a unicorn covered in glitter, no?
And like rainbow hair.
Don't they spew rainbows?
No, I think that's more like being
rainbows?
appropriated for children's stories and stuff.
So they don't necessarily...
No, I think if you look at the more classical depictions of them and its depiction as the national animal of Scotland, which it is, I don't think there's rainbows going on.
Right.
Wonder if they ever actually existed.
They must have. That one.
Sorry. Unicorns have wings.
Not traditional.
Not all of them.
No, not all of them. Well, some didn't. Obviously, some.
This one doesn't.
That's a wild woman with a unicorn.
Like, I can't understand why there's so many depictions of unicorns if they didn't exist. But then we've never found any fossils of them, have we?
Well, you wouldn't if the
horn breaks down.
If the horn breaks down.
But like, you'd be as if you wouldn't find one in a bog somewhere. Like, you find.
Well, that's the same. They reckon that's the same thing with dragons. Is that the lightweight nature, Tom, of the wing, much like a bird, it breaks down, disintegrates. So like that's why we haven't found them.
So as in there'd be dinosaurs that flew.
Yep.
But what about like pterodactyls?
No, there'd be dragons.
But why wouldn't they? Why you can find pterodactyls and?
No, but like fire breathing and shit.
But why couldn't you find them?
Anyway, guys.
It seems like the myths around unicorns started with bad descriptions of rhinoceroses. And then because rhinoceros horns were also sold for like medicinal properties, so that kind of became the magical thing.
Kill a rhino, get a boner.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
they say.
Fair income.
Yeah.
But just coming back to the referees and doping, there are no rules that I can find of doping against referees, and they don't get tested regularly or anything. But back in 2013, Graham Annesley did say when asked about it, he goes, fans would probably be happy if referees were on performance
I'd
enhancing drugs.
love it, dude. It would be the best. Imagine seeing refs fucking jacked, hoofing it down the sideline.
And instead of like trying to avoid the play, they just put on shots if you ran into them.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck. Run at me then, dude.
Yeah, run at me.
You want to come talk some shit?
Oh, yeah. Run
I've
at
got
me.
veins in my veins.
Imagine that. Instead of getting sent off, you had the opportunity to run at the ref. You don't get
Punch
it over
on
the
with
top
it.
of him, you get sent off.
Yeah.
So if you get sin binned, you can go, I want to run at you, ref. And if you run over the top of the ref, you don't go to the bin. But if he drops you, you get sent
You
off.
get sent off. This is now Corey Parker wasn't thinking when he was saying give me a magic Joker card or whatever. You need to get the referees involved more by getting them on roids and then having like a sideshow.
Why wouldn't you use what's already on the field?
Yep.
Big jacked referees dropping blokes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's good stuff.
That's rugby league.
That's rugby league.
That
That's
is
good stuff.
rugby league.
Punters and dribblers. When we talk Cricket World Cup, One Day World Cup.
Yeah, bruh.
On the show, we do it thanks to our good friends at KO. The Cricket World Cup coming up. I think it's in India this year.
It is.
Starting next Thursday the 5th.
Yep.
Next
October.
Thursday the 5th.
Yeah.
Jesus, we're blessed.
Yeah, we are. Wallabies get knocked out.
We are blessed
Yeah.
because
4 World Cups this year we've had.
4?
Maybe more, but I know about the women's soccer,
Yep.
basketball World Cup.
Who won that?
America probably.
No,
No,
they didn't.
America lost to like Spain or Germany or
Yeah, I think they lost to Germany.
Okay, well, we had that. Then we got the
yeah,
rugby
Germany
union,
won.
Germany
Germany
Union
won.
World Cup,
Yep.
Cricket World Cup. I don't know if there's any other World Cups. Probably none that I'm aware of. Either way,
Netball?
Netball World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was early.
We
yeah.
won that.
Was that the World Cup or was that like a Four Nations, Tri Nations?
I think it was the World Cup.
Yeah, no, that was the World Cup.
Did we win that?
We did, yes.
5 World Cups this year.
So we're going for our second of 5.
2 from 5.
2 from 5.
Anyway.
It's been a mixed year for the nation, and I think that in order to save national pride, Tom, nothing to do that more than a World Cup win.
Agree.
Don't you think?
Yeah, no, I do.
Especially in a World Cup that we absolutely dominate historically. Check the tapes.
Check the tapes. Now, Cricket World Cup, One Day World Cup, very horny for it. I will say there's been a couple of like warm-up matches. I think we were in South Africa for a bit. Now then India. I haven't been keeping an eye on it, but I know Dave. Well, listen, I heard the first 2, I thought we just pumped South Africa. Then we lost 3.
Yeah, we did.
So we lost the fucking series.
Yeah, we beat them in 40 overs in the first game and then by over 120 runs in the second game, then got smashed in the next 3 to lose that series 3-2. And now we've had 2 games against India where we've been creamed both times.
Creamed.
Right. Lost by 99 runs. That's with the DLS method. That was on the 24th, so yesterday.
That was last night. Yeah.
Last night.
Bowled all out for 217 after we let them get.
Can you go into the score? Let's go into the scorecard.
Let's go to the first Indian game.
It was the first game. Yeah. Last night was Spencer Johnson's debut.
Oh, our mate.
Spenny. Yeah, bro.
Johnson, friend of the show.
Big friend of the show. Okay, well done, bro.
So the
So I just
first
want to see, this one here.
Indian
How we
game.
go.
Do you want to see our bowling, our batting?
No, bowling, whatever, batting I want to see.
Marsh, 4 from 4. Warner, 52 of 53 seeds. Not
Warner
bad.
has been playing well.
Smudge, 41 of
60.
60. Labuschagne, 39 of 49. Green, 31 of 52. Inglis, 45 of 45. Stoinis, 29 of 21. Matt Short. I tell you what, it's pretty testy, our World Cup side, or at least our one-day side.
Yeah.
In terms of the batting, at least.
Yeah. Josh Inglis. I thought our boy fucking Carey was our one-day keeper. Whatevs. Or maybe it was even Wade. All right, so then what do we do?
Go to the bowling figures, though, quickly. Let's just see how
we bowl.
We only got 5 wickets this game.
Yeah, right. Zampa 2. Fucking going at 5. Cameron Green, none. Going at 7. Fuck, he's expensive, Cam Green. Jesus Christ.
I think he got a couple of wickets last night, though.
Okay. Good
6 overs for 44 runs at 7.33. Not good enough, Cameron. That's okay.
Now
go to last night. Lost a few overs to rain, did we?
Yep. But only a few, not heaps.
Well, they've gone DLS.
Duckworth Lewis, for those of you
That's
wondering what
right.
that is.
Duckworth Lewis Stern.
Yeah.
So
was it a Duckworth and Lewis and Stern? 3 different blokes?
I thought it was
Or
Duckworth
Shearers?
Lewis system.
Yeah.
No, the S stands for Stern.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
I bet.
Duckworth
Well,
Lewis Stern.
because
method.
it's Duckworth Lewis. It wouldn't be Duckworth Lewis system method.
So Frank Duckworth and Tony Lewis, and then after the retirements of Duckworth and Lewis, Stephen Stern became the custodian of the method, and it was renamed to its current title in 2014.
How can you be a custodian of a method? Are they the only blokes on the planet that know how to use it?
I don't
Does
know.
he have to
Very
be at
well
every
could
game? Do they have to get him on the blower
Well, it's
and
like
go
singing the song.
Sterny?
You got to pass it down from like person to person.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do. It doesn't make any sense.
So Duckworth and Lewis retired, and they go, okay, the only bloke that we now trust with the system, the method rather, is Stern. Right.
Sure. All right. Let's just go to. Who cares? Let's just go to the
I care.
scorecard. No, but I'm like, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? 53. Warner. Duck for Smudge. Sean Abbott. 54.
Alex Carey, there you go, he's back.
Right.
Oh, no, okay, sorry. Back on this. I know it's boring, but Duckworth...
I'm loving it.
Stern initiated basically like a slight change in the calculations to recognise that teams that would be batting second would obviously be scoring at a different rate than teams who are batting first because they're chasing a total. There were some calculations made to
Nice from
differentiate the
Stern.
2 innings from each other.
Naughty.
Yeah. Who's coming in here?
Naughty.
Come
Naughty.
Oh. Almost
You
went
almost
down
tripped.
there. Almost tripped over by Uncle Eddie.
Sorry.
You say, don't you trip me over, Eddie. He almost tripped you over, didn't he? You got a Peppa Pig top on?
Love that.
You see a Peppa Pig top, Eddie?
Love Peppa Pig.
Who else is on there? Rebecca Rabbit's on there.
Is she part of Peppa's world?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she's eating a carrot.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Love that. Rabbits love carrots, they do.
Yeah. Oh, your shoes come off. That's all right. You can take your other one off if you want. Oh, that's living.
See you later.
Isn't that living? Just kicking the shoes off.
Love that. They're fun little shoes.
Yeah.
All gone.
So
Have we thanked KO?
Yeah, when we talk, thanks for the Cricket World Cup, thanks to good friends at KO. All games live and ad free during play.
Every
on
single
KO.
game.
Every single ball.
Listen, if you love the nation, you love your cricket. Unmissable.
Big doubt, but our mate Spencer
Also,
Johnson there,
I think
not out.
I think India's okay in terms of time zone,
Yeah, I think it's not too bad.
which is
yeah,
a
I'm
lot
trying
better.
to remember when we played them earlier this year, they were all right. Shubman Gill, 104.
This is what, and yeah, this is the other
Ayer,
thing as well.
105.
Kohli hasn't
Dav.
been playing in these first 2 games, and I think they've had another couple players, like their starters, that are out.
Right,
so
they're
we're
looking
playing
good.
They're looking very good.
Yadav, 72 not.
And they're at
Jadeja,
home.
13 not.
So I think the game last night started at 6 p.m.
Yeah, India,
so that is
they're 5 hours behind us.
It was on last night at 6 p.m.
yeah. So it's very very.
I would have
nice.
watched that.
Very very nice time zone punters and dribblers.
That's a beautiful time
No
zone.
excuses. Zero excuses. not
Well,
to
there's
get
no
behind the
excuses
nation.
for a multitude of reasons, right? The timing is perfect, but also coming into summer in Australia, weather's warming up. You've probably got rosé and of the big day variety. Why wouldn't you be watching it?
Pour yourself a rosé and watch the boys get to work in India.
David Warner has got a century and a half century against South Africa, and then he's got 2 half centuries against India, which makes it 3 half centuries and a century in his last 6 games.
Hell yeah, David Warner. Okay, that's good. That's what we need. That's what we want to see. We like that, don't we, Evie?
This is the final. He's on the home stretch.
Yeah.
There would be something very freeing about going, you know what? I'm so close to the end. I'm just going to go out there and swing.
Yeah. Much like when we get close to the end of our marathon a year and a half ago that we're still talking about.
And we saw the finish line and we just swung.
Yeah.
Like Tobler did.
Tobler.
He swung too.
He swung.
Swung with the hill.
It's interesting you sprinted home like that, Tobler, because we did a similar thing.
Yeah, that's exactly how I finished.
Exactly right.
I didn't get overtaken by a 90-year-old man on the finish line.
Oldest in the comp.
Oldest in the comp. But he's run a fair few marathons, in fairness. I saw him again in that cocktail. It kind of rattled. I got PTSD from it. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah. He'd run 50 odd?
No, it was a couple of hundred. I think it was over 100 marathons.
Because that was on the back of his shirt.
On his shirt, yeah.
Very impressive.
Speaking of marathons, Edward, we have a Ned Brockman book to give away. He gave us one each, and he gave us one extra for a dribbler. It's called Showing Up.
Ned Brockman, Showing Up, Get Comfortable Being Uncomfortable. Basically the life and times, the memoir of the great man. Now, this is for a dribbler. Not just any dribbler, but the dribbler that finished smack bang in the middle of dribblers that finished the marathon. I believe off the top of the dome, Tobler, the dribbler that came 265th.
I believe so, yeah.
I believe that's the number. 265th. 529 dribblers finished the race, or 528 dribblers finished the race.
Huge.
Fucking huge. From the quickest dribbler, who I think ran a 20:30 or something like that, to the slowest dribbler who did 7 hours, 4 minutes. Well fucking done. 10 of you couldn't make it to the finish line. Better luck next year.
50 of you didn't show up.
52 didn't show up. Now,
I know one of you was there on the day with his missus, and you'd fucking blown out your Achilles. And so your missus was running.
So that was like,
That's play on.
there's one. I think if I can just finger to the wind at Tom, I reckon some dribblers signed up pissed, and then as I got closer and they'd done no training, go, fuck it.
Yeah.
Not that. It's not my racket. Maybe you can right horrible wrongs and do it next year to those 52 that didn't make the start line. If you had half-decent excuses, whatever, but I don't reckon many of you would.
Who cares?
528 finish, though. That is ridiculous.
Yep.
Love that out of the punter and the dribbler. Love it out of the goers. The winner of the book, Mr. 629 is, or 625.
Thomas.
No, 235. 235.
265.
Whatever, the cunt that finished halfway.
Yeah,
the one that got exactly halfway.
265.
Thomas Faminga.
Thomas
Faminga.
Ran a 4 hours, 37 and 35 seconds.
There you go. 4 hours, 37, 35 was exactly halfway between everyone. Well done. You've won this book. Email turbo@hellosport.com.au and you will get a prize.
And it's signed by Ned. Now, obviously, he didn't sign your name because he didn't know who you were, but it is
I'm not going to read out. There's a nice message on there for you.
Yep.
Also, if you are looking for your Goers Run shirt and you weren't able to get it, also, if you didn't fucking run, don't ask for it. Shame on you. As in, like, if you didn't show up at the start line, I didn't get my shirt. Shame on you. We'll be checking. I've got a list. Now, if you didn't get a shirt and you want it, we are getting 2 boxes sent to us. Email turbo@hellosport.com.au. We'll try and make it happen. Apparently, there was a fuck up with sizes. Listen, it is what it is. I apologise for that, but we were not in control
of that side of things. You don't get it when Hello Sport's doing the merch. Hey,
you never get that.
You
get results.
You get results.
Every time.
Anyway, last thing before we go, Edward. If you haven't listened to the Ben Teo chat on SEN last week, it just came out on our YouTubes and our Spotifys today. It's one of my favourites.
It's fucking
It's actually
true.
one of my favourites.
Go read the comments on YouTube. You'll get the drift. Everyone's like, bruh, this is the greatest interview of all time.
I haven't even seen the comments
Oh,
on
people
YouTube.
are fucking
Oh, really?
balls,
They
touching
pulling themselves?
Yes,
Flicking
bruh.
themselves?
Flicking and rubbing.
Yeah.
Flicking and rubbing.
Ben Teo's such a mad cunt, right? He flew down from Queensland just for the yarn. And then he's just like kicked it around Sydney for a fucking couple of hours and flew back home.
Oh, what a man.
Yeah. Good man. Huge man as well. Huge man, good man.
Huge man, big man, thick man, man of presence, man of substance.
Probably going to be like the next big thing in coaching in like the next 10 years.
But also,
So, like, you know,
also a spinner of yarn.
spinner
Tom.
of yarn, played the game at the highest level, won comps, played rugby union at the highest level, played British and Irish Lions, but has some yarns in him. SEN this week we've got the great and powerful Harry Garside. Now, we've had Harry on. I think Harry's on the start of the year.
Yeah.
Fuckloads has gone on for Harry in between the last time he's been on Between Drinks.
Yeah, fair bit.
Fair bit. And it was
safe
good
to say
on.
there's a fair bit that's happened.
Fair bit going on. Harry's a good man. He's a good fucking man. And he's a hard-working athlete, and he's chasing gold at the Olympics.
Oh, you mean gold for the nation?
Gold for the nation. We've never won gold in the boxing, and he's having a real red-hot fucking crack at it. It's been good to have him. It was good to have him back on, have a chat. That is on SEN Tuesday night, 8 p.m, and then it'll be back on to the podcast and the YouTubes as per usual. We've got another big name Australian boxer coming up that you may have heard of. His name rhymes with Tim Tszyu. That'll be in a couple of weeks.
Does it rhyme with Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah. Yeah, it does rhyme with Tim Tszyu.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not a big rhyme guy, but I think it rhymes with
No, I think you're right. Couple of weeks' time. So a couple of fucking bulls.
Couple of bulls.
Aussie boxers.
Yeah.
Coming up just to fill the lobes with baby. Put them up, bruh.
Put them up. Anyway, that's us.
Bye-bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?